of people who are looking for something new. They are going to dominate the demand, the consumer demand on this, and they are the young people who are earning more money, and they're already in this space in their own fields, and technology they grasp very easily, so they'll catch on. Anything interesting. Some things are clear. It's going to be shorter content, most of it. Most of it is going to be shorter content, because the attention span as it is growing shorter. I guess like the 5-day cricket to a 1-day cricket match and down to a 2020. It's bound to happen in everything, and it's going to lead to these 5-minute and 15-minute outbursts of something brilliant, and everybody wants to have a look at it and experience it. It can be on any subject, anywhere. I feel a whole lot of possibilities are opening up, and I'm sure the young will take advantage of it. We will also have the pleasure of enjoying all that. And that does not mean that someone like me will not be a part of it. Please believe me, if I moved from a normal film to a 70mm and then on to the little screen, I'm very, very happy to move on to this new medium, this new platform. It gives you a lot more freedom. Of course, your chances of making it are equally difficult, but that's where a true maker shows his mettle. I also feel it's a very quick result for people who are educating themselves today. They don't have to wait for a huge film to be planned where they can show their talent. Even television has now become quite huge and difficult to get into. So a new avenue is opening up. Anybody can pick up a camera. Anybody can get down to making something. But what's nice is the big boys are also coming in. Netflix and Amazon, I believe, are very much interested in coming to India. And I believe as the business grows and as the business sees more monetization, and which is at the moment, it's not very easy to see how it's going to go and how we're going to get the money back. Although industry predicts a business of around 200 billion by 2020, as I'm told. So I think we're all looking at a whole new phenomenon related to the kind of entertainment world and media world that we're talking about, but it'll probably take a slightly different form, and I think we'll all welcome it. The world is growing larger, the audiences are growing larger, so why not a lot of business? The other part of it will be technical, and there will be huge infringement problems. So the lawyers have to put their heads together and try and see how we can move this technology in a manner that gives the maximum to the makers and to the people involved in the business, and yet be able to monetize it for themselves. So I think we'll see things happening as the business grows. The problems will come up, the solutions will come up, and I look forward to this whole new world with a lot of anticipation. All the best, and we'll leave the floor open to all the discussions. Thank you very much.
The market. There are still some concerns around, at the end of it all, how do you really make money? who in the value chain is best positioned to sort of do that. And to discuss that, we've got a set of panelists who are from different parts of the value in this space, where advertisement is sort of the key revenue source. Just to, what's sort of also changing is how advertisements are sort of bought and sold, and programmatic ads are the new norm, and that sort of enables both buyers and sellers on the ad side to make it far more focused in terms of their advertisement packages, and and top that with analytics around audiences. It sort of helps advertisers reach out to the specific segments that they want to sort of target. Challenges are there even on the advertising side, so that is clearly a very important play within the overall package. And all the numbers do denote that video content consumption in India is growing and growing significantly, and with 4G and a lot of the digital infrastructure improving, we should continue to see this growing. The challenge is that on the other side, it also offers the opportunity to experiment and come out with content which can be very, very segmented and very niche and targeted at very specific audiences. Digital music, the music industry right now, the challenges, continue to be, in this case, piracy is a very big concern particularly on the digital music side. But there are pluses in terms of how this market will sort of evolve. Regional music on the digital side is growing significantly. Telcos are playing a far more proactive role in this space right now. Foreign players are looking at India, but what
even after a lot of probing, do not educate the content makers enough to what they want really out of them. Now, their business side is okay for them, but the content maker eventually needs to know that how is he interacting with the audience. So the mature side of our film industry, and even though Hollywood has been, and the West especially, has been an intensively open market, India survived even for like I guess 100 years, even though the market was closed, because there were content makers who kind of passionately drove it. But they understood the audience or the throughput to how they were connecting to this audience, and that's how great legends and filmmakers like Mississippi also came in, where he knew who he was talking to, how he was talking to, where they were talking to. Now, as I think this is the beginning of these sessions, and I think even the frames this year, is that content makers who probably are veterans in this or understand the side of making content begin to understand where this market is going, or maybe the market, like you said, is kind of everything has been thrown up in the air, starts consolidating. Then a serious content maker will say, you know what, there's a lot of, there is a big investment a content maker makes, even if it's a writer or a musician or something. There's a part of him that he invests, which actually a lot of people don't value enough because if they are not content makers. So they are very, I think they're very possessive of it for whatever reasons. Also, their time investment in creating that is very valuable to them. So what we see is, as we want to go into this new phase of the content space, we'll have to handhold that maker or that creator, because he wants to just be sure that even if he makes his content, it gets out there. It gets out there, it reaches X number of eyeballs. I guess that's why YouTube kind of is still the biggest in that space, is because it's kind of delivered to a large number of people that yes, it reaches a certain audience base. So in our ecosystem where new players are coming, which is great, I think we will have to kind of handhold content makers to help the...
No, I think it's a very interesting point you make, right? And everybody says, and the word compelling content is something I've heard from pretty much everybody, but I think the point that you make is very valid, that I guess nobody's really got a pulse on what that content needs to be, and potentially there needs to be, you know, far more sharing of the kind of analytics that is available to a lot of the platforms to be able to assess what's the kind of content that really works, who wants to watch what, and then sort of work with the content makers to create that, right?
Exactly.
Ajay, so your organization really works fundamentally on original exclusive content, and would be good to hear from you now then on how do you see this, and you know, how do you sort of work towards creating the content that you work on?
So I think our fundamental belief is that if you see the larger theme that play over the years, it's fairly that of disintermediation. So while we can say we don't know what people want or what are the things that are actually going to work, there's a whole new ecosystem of creators, companies, monetizers that have already kind of established themselves, right? So with each generation, like I've had the unique advantage of seeing print in the 90s, then being part of the broadcast industry for about 10 years in the 2015 era, and now digital, right? So what I've seen is that all three eras have actually different sets of people evolving, right? As the pioneers, as well as probably some of those people who are actually going to be the established players of tomorrow, right? So when it comes to print, almost 75% of your money was invested in non-content operations, right? I mean, since we're talking economics, and
I'll just take 2 minutes of this. What represents the entire session, where we are moving, especially the Bollywood industry?
Sorry, one second. Hello.
Celebrities. Are you leaving?
Yeah, my session is done. I know, that's right.
You're coming, no? Go give your interview.
Once I go inside, then they can't come out. Sorry.
TikTok, whole TV in 20 rupees.
Correct.
How do you see the whole Bollywood industry, the entertainment industry, especially in India, is going on?
Till it doesn't make sense to the entertainment industry on what they can do with digital in terms of what are the economics, because they know what they get out of theatres, what are their shares and what the future is. Big filmmakers, there's a lot of cost riding. I think new filmmakers will take the leap and adventure into the digital space. The more established makers will not. And what happens is, it's the problem of India has always been the middle. The money will go behind the big stars, or there will be people, they are looking for people who are available at free cost, almost. We have been a company which has made big films from the middle. And that is the reason there are not enough people who back the middle. Until that doesn't change, India is not going to change the digital content space.
Okay, apart from this, there are, the moment the whole thing started, there are very few makers who know the filmmaking art. Prakash Mehra Production, Vishesh Films, there are very few production houses. Now the corporate involvement, do you think corporate involvement somewhere is a hurdle?
It's not a hurdle. Actually, they do work, but I think the corporate involvement is, as soon as the involvement, they understand both sides. See, there is a legacy of filmmakers who, not for anything else, this is not a kingdom, but it is because when I learn, if I'm a carpenter, I learn from my father, there's something more I learn from him and I will take it forward. The issue is that in the corporate environment, people have come from very different, diverse sectors. They do not know the root causes of many things and why certain things were done a certain way. And as India evolves, they are more looking to the financial P&L, but not understanding that how that the bridge can be made. But I think a lot of the young corporate which are there are open to a lot of conversation. I think if that conversation is constructive, the corporates are good. They are good then.
Okay, what's there in the pipeline? Are you working on some project?
Yeah, Raz is fourth version of our franchise, edition of our franchise is going to be coming soon. Also, we are 2 or 3 projects which are under production. There's no announcement officially yet of it. So as of now, I will just say that Raz will come through, and then a lot more projects coming through.
Okay, something out of the box. With the process going in the Bollywood industry, people are planning to make a biopic on R.D. Burman. What your take as a director, as a maker?
I think there is a whole process where a lot of biopics are being made. I think biopics on great people are interesting for a lot of lot of the audience, and R.D. Burman is a legend. So a biopic on him would definitely be interesting for a lot of consumers. But I think depends how you make it, who makes it, and a biopic is a good way to look into someone who was a legend from the past.
For the last one, there's also a process. Amir Khan is in talk to play R.D. Burman, Priyanka Chopra to play Asha Bhosle. What's your take? What's your view on that?
I have no take on it. Whoever plays it, if you're playing the life of R.D. Burman, is already a star in the film.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Please take your seats.
The whole process is very interesting, you know. You get 20 rupees monthly TV. How do you
Please take your
this
seats.
whole change in Bollywood industry, digital platforms especially?
I don't think
We don't want to lose time. I know people
the
are
answers
hungry.
have been found.
Please take your seats.
Okay. Govind sir, can we do it there? Okay, I can hear.
Hello?
Well,
Yeah.
it's asked,
I understand.